Hi guys, happy Sunday with Satan. Yeah, totally different meaning now. Way different meaning. So, I have been kind of neglecting Ouija boot camp, magic boot camp, because of some ridiculous, ridiculous alpha male crap. So, no more of that. So, and everybody that's on my personal page, my Facebook page, if you guys are being offended, which I know you are, more than 100 people have come to me because they are offended by one person. One person cannot come in to a community which I have created and just spew, I don't want to say spew shit, but you can't just come into a magical community and just go after everybody, you know. It's rude, and I made a point to post that this morning. So you can't. That's not how it works. We are in the United States. I have many friends from all over the world. And the one thing I can't stand is a fucking racist. So, if I ever hear of my friends being called that Mexican, or anything, I'll flip my lid. It will be completely over. The little magical threats, I don't want to hurt your friend, but it doesn't happen. That's not possible. I'm sorry, but it's not. It is possible, but you're not powerful enough. That's for damn sure. So I kind of have this feeling that somebody is trying to get how do I want to say this? I feel like somebody's trying to get their 15 minutes in the limelight through me, through me. I'm just a YouTube person. I teach Ouija Magical Boot Camp. I have my own ways, and I have for a long time. And we have built this community up, and it's not going to be ruined by one person. That's all it takes is one person. It takes one person, and it's the snake that comes in, and it's intelligent, and it's smart. And what it does is it comes in, and it causes us to go at it, and just go at each other. So, it's not going to happen anymore. Never on my page again. I see so many of my friends being offended. So, honestly, I don't know how many people I have on my list. I'd like 3,000, 2,000. If one person out of that many people thinks the one person is wrong, who's right? I mean, I love everybody. I do. And I don't want to see anything happen to anybody. But it's getting too much. These lights, this is what happens when I see rivalry on all over my page, my stuff, over religion. Keep political shit out of it. Yes, I respect everybody's opinion, of course. So this is what happens. $100 light set. They all blew. So, I don't want that to happen anymore. Because I don't have the money to replace those. Thank you. Anyways, so yes. I do feel like somebody is trying to sneak in with a good heart. I'm always giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. Good intentions and a good heart. So that's what it's hard. It's really hard to, tell somebody, that's not how that works here. That's not how that works here. And then attacking my friends, the Mexican thing, that pisses me off the most. No, I will not stand for that racism right there, no. That's ridiculous. That's unacceptable. So, anyways, yeah, said person will not get their 15 minutes of, if they think fame. No, not hardly. I am not famous. I have just been on YouTube for a very long time, and I have built a giant community of great people, great friends, very great friends. And I don't have time to argue or get on the board and waste my energy to exhaustion fighting and trying to find out who cares if there is a literal Satan. I don't care. I don't believe that. That's not how I believe. And just because one person, that's a narcissist, by the way, one person thinks that they're right, everybody else is wrong. That's narcissist. And I can't do that. I don't do that. It's very toxic. So, it has caused me to, just the back and forth has caused me to become, obviously, a little ill. Nothing bad, nothing major, because I'm exhausting my own energies, on trying to prove something that nobody can prove. Nobody can prove any of this. I mean, yes, you can. Scientifically, you can prove lots of magic, but you're not going to throw a death spell at one of my friends. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. First, you don't ever say anything. There, it's done. It's over with already. So, I don't know how many times I have given the benefit of the doubt. So, it's ridiculous. So, anyways, back to our Ouija. And if you guys have noticed anything on my channel, comment-wise, if you guys are being attacked, please tell me. Please. If you guys are being attacked because you believe a certain way and you're being told that you're wrong, no. This is the United States. Freedom. We don't have a dictator. We are not like a communist. Not a true communist. Communism, which, is good. Profitable exchange for goods for currency. But it's all about power for some people. So, basically, the Catholic Church is what I'm dealing with in the form of a human being. Which I can't deal with. I can't do. I won't do it no more, so. No, it's done. It's taken me to a very darker place than I've ever wanted to go. And it's not going to happen anymore. Sorry. So, anyways, how are we doing with Ouija Boot Camp? Are we doing good? Are you guys doing your stuff? So today I kind of wanted to just get you guys familiar with the board. So, alright. If you have any fears, so, my sister, Catherine, you are doing amazing. Yes, it is very normal for the heaviness to set in. That's what I experienced. That's what I experienced a lot when I first started to use the Ouija. I would hear, move it to this letter, this number. So I would do that. And then through imagination, which strikes the nervous system, it literally, spirit strikes the nervous system when we tap into that astral current of energy. And then we have to use all of our bodily movements. That's the ideomotor effect. It is very important in this work. True mediumship, where you won't get anywhere if you think that it's just, you're going to put it there and the planchette is going to move. Sure, that is possible. I've never seen it once, and it was a very slight, that was it. So, I mean, me and my dad, when I was younger, we had a giant glass wooden table. We had fun. So, I took a Ouija board, we took a Ouija board, and we put magnets on it. And then underneath the table, for fun. That was just for fun. So, that's not reality. I had one damn good childhood growing up. I really did. So, let's get you guys familiar. just so you all know, Angel board, Baphomet board, the Devil board, they're all the same. Spirit board, the Swami board, they're all the same. It's Ouija is a brand name, like Kleenex or Louis Vuitton. It's a brand name. So why am I fuzzy? There we go. So it's a brand name. Obviously, it's trademarked and it makes a lot of money by Hasbro and winning moves. So yes, they do. They have caught a very dark. This got darker. A very dark. It's got a mysterious, ominous feel to it, but it's just the same. Ouija, trademark, brand name. Same thing with this one. This is this version. So this is 1972. This is this version of 2018 Deluxe. So as we can see, we have quite a few differences. This is masonite. This is very sturdy. This is just compressed cardboard. So that's why you must be very careful with these ones, or you will get scratches. So let's start with your regular board. So many people are afraid of just this because of the imagery. That's why we get afraid of it. That's why people are afraid of it. So when the planchette does this, say it does your letters backwards. We just superstition. The fool buys into the superstitions, and thus you trigger fear. And a true magician, a true medium does not fear the board or the spirits or any of it. So you can't fear it. I mean, you can have a healthy fear of it, but you can't fear this. If it does a figure 8, what does a figure 8 represent? Eternity. So really think about the analogies with that. Some people say if it goes to the four corners of the board, that it's evil. Some people say if you leave the planchette on the board overnight, that it will release the spirits. No, this is just the tool. You are the operator. You're the one that makes it possible for this to work. So you have to get over, if you have any fears, get over them. I'm kidding, but honestly, you have to if you want to successfully use this thing. So what would be something that would make you fear this traditional image? Could it be this? Maybe because you have seen that from The Exorcist, because they did use this board. And I think it was a 1972 board, obviously. I do remember looking at it, pausing it, zooming in on it, screenshotting it with my phone, my iPad, everything I could, zooming in just to see what year it was, what kind of board it was, and it was 1972. So, kaboom. That's why people are so scared, because of The Exorcist. That, and everybody has a terrible horror story, but these horror stories, this is how this all starts. So I had a bad experience once. No, I wouldn't say once, or even bad. Went down to the cemetery, which is called Salem Cemetery. It was very odd. We were literally just messing around. So that was the intention. Goofiness. Teenagers. We were just doing it to probably just be obnoxious. So we all sat down at the graveyard cemetery. You don't have to be in a cemetery, by the way, to contact spirits of a cemetery. All you have to do is focus on, spirits don't know space or time, but they are still bound by time, in a sense, on our plane. So that's what separates every different dimension is time. That is it's a good thing. or everything would collide, and we would be not here, obviously. So, back to the cemetery, the Salem Cemetery, not Salem, Massachusetts. So, sadly, we put our hands on the board, and we all three, at the same time, as we put our hands on the planchette, blacked out. And it felt like we were sinking very far into the earth. It was very scary. It felt like hours, and it was like 2 seconds. So that was, it was a little, this is nothing to mess around with. This is, the real deal. So you just don't do that. What would be a fear of anybody? The fear of not being able to use it. Very good fear. So you can take that and you can transform that into your positive daemon, which will help you. So, and then the sizes, obviously. Things were much bigger back in the older Ouija days. So yes, looking through the planchette, no. Everything that you guys hear, all these superstitions are from the movies, and then people that have bad experiences. So, it's your own fault if you have a bad experience, because you are in control of the board. You are the one that are drawing in that energy subconsciously. So it is your fault if you have a bad session and you think you have brought in demons. Quote. Yeah, you mighta, because that's something in your subconscious mind that you are subconsciously afraid of, and you might not know it. So, I might not know I'm afraid of something. I'm afraid of losing my ability to use the board. That's my only fear I've ever had. Yeah, that's my only fear. Is my ability to use the board the way I do, and who I talk to. If that ever ends, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. So, fear is very natural, always. It's very natural. So, that's what we do when we, the sigil magic. So, doing the sigil magic to get through these fears, that's a good thing. So, reenactments, another very important thing. When you reenact, you are tapping into the imagination, which is triggering the astral light of souls. The astral light is saturated with tons and tons of souls. Depends on who. It could be your ancestor that's kind of just stuck in between, trying to move on. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, there's really nothing to be afraid of, except for yourself. So when you're tapping into that, you have to put yourself in that person's shoes. So how would Grandpa act towards a certain question? How would, from your memory, how do you think they would respond to your question? Remember, when we pass these boards, some people, I've had people come through that say, oh, this works. Yes, it's very, very awesome. So, when you're tapping into that current of astral light, you literally are tapping into the memories, and the energy of that person, just a fraction, a little bit. So you do pull out, information through the imagination, but you can't let your imagination rule over you, and then your daily life becomes something that you don't even want to be a part of. So you have to actually project your spiritual atmosphere that you feel, your spirituality outside of yourself, so you don't become intoxicated by the astral light. That causes madness, causes hallucinations, it causes sickness. you're always sick if you're saturated or if you're intoxicated with too much astral light. So, people that are always sick, people that have just drama, so much drama in their lives, people that think that they have to pick a fight over, just a small thing, usually they are in a very dark place. And this is very true. This is truth, universal truth, and you all know this. That person working with literal figure, well, I don't literally think, Satan or the devil is real. So, these people that work with these negative beings through the board or in just regular magical practice are always sick, always have bad luck. They're just blah. They take your energy and they transform it into themselves. Their energy, emotional vampires is what it is called in psychology, and it's very, very true. Those people will drain you, they will make you feel terrible. So stay away from those people. So yes, don't get intoxicated though with the astral light to where you think that this, your daily life is not as important as your spiritual life, because you have to coexist. You have to bring the two together and balance, or it's just going to be so. And then all these horror stories, like Zozo, you guys know, is that thing still even, around? Is that even a thing anymore? I haven't heard much about it. So it's dying out. Thank God. But yes, so these thought forms we create. Everything returns to the sender. Or yes, the snake always bites its tail. So I got this tattoo. What goes around comes around, because that is the universal truth. That is universal truth, whether it be good, bad, whatever. If you're working dark, that's what you're going to get, darkness. You're not going to get light through darkness. You have to have balance. So, what else did I want to tell you guys? Oh, the superstitions surrounding the board. Like, say one person hears one story of a bad session. Their mom's daughter's aunt, okay, had one bad session. Okay, that was their fault. Now, it spread. It spreads. It's like disease. It spreads. It's like the plague. So it's going to transform itself into, okay, that aunt, she had a very bad experience with the board, which was her fault, because she didn't do something right. She had fears. Fear is the base of why we have, and not enough knowledge. So that is why you always have to really, really dig deep into the board and its history, its use, its esoteric use. You can use it for healing. You can use it for so many different things, other than just talking to astral beings, angels, spirit guides, all kinds. You guys see what I do, and you guys can do that too. I know you can. But, so the aunt that had that bad experience, it's gonna go down the line. So, okay, here we go. Now we find the son or the daughter, let's say they're twins of the mother of the aunt. The analogy, just follow along. So the aunt that had the bad experience was her own fault. She tells the grandma. The grandma tells the twins. The twins, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And then, boom, we have, in the end, through analogy, the Ouija is evil. That's how it all starts. That's how everything starts. Rumors, dramatizations, that's all it is. That's all it is. So you guys don't even have to be afraid of it. There's nothing. And then people that tell you that, yeah, certain spirits will attach themselves. they will find a liking to a certain board. I've never encountered any negative spirits with each board. So yes, but the board being a portal itself, no, absolutely not. Nope, not possible. Unless you've done some ceremonial magic to make it a doorway and a portal through ceremonial magic, then you are off into a different land, a different planet. But that's not what I do. That's not how we do the board here. So, alright. Now, when you're first starting out, you want to get familiar. So, just take it. Spell your name out. Get a feel. Get a feel. It's hard to do that like that. There we go, my name. So, spell your name out. Talk to yourself. Just say hi to yourself. Talk to your higher self. Really tap into your higher self. Concentrate on just talking to you. So, what does the you inside want from the board? Face your fears through the board, too. So, you could ask yourself, why am I afraid? Self, why am I afraid of, say, possession or something? Really dig deep through analogy. Write it down and talk to yourself. It really does work. So you can talk to your higher self, you can talk to different aspects of yourself, you can talk to your inner child, that's psychologically, scientifically proven. You can talk to your higher self, just every aspect of yourself, past self, present self. I don't know about future self, never tried it, haven't yet. So I can go back and I can talk to my little self and say, what were you doing? Why were you asking for Pan to show up when you were like 9 years old, 10? So you can do that with the board. Just focus, set your atmosphere, light your candles, say your prayers. If you're comfortable with Christianity, Catholic prayers, which I have to, well, I don't have to, but I do, because I do honor la Santísima Muerte. So, if you want to say Our Father, Hail Mary, the Apostles' Creed, those actually do have a little bit of power to them. They do. So, that's just what you think, what you believe, how you feel in the heart. So, everything comes from the heart. So, do your prayers beforehand, come up with your own, which we've done, and then practice. Just keep practicing and talk to yourself. It's very good to talk to yourself and find out what's going on up here and in here, literally. So you can do that with this. I would just, yeah, you guys are doing really good. You guys are doing really good. So, what other Ouija stations do we have out there? God, there are so many. There are just tons. So yeah, obviously, you're not supposed to sleep in the same room. I've heard that with the board. Okay. I'm alive, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I have a good family. Boom. So yes, it is all in what you think and believe and feel. It's total true. So my current Ouija boot campers, with everything that I have told you and taught you, go ahead. I gave you the reenactment assignments. I know, Sean, I know you're really busy with work, which this is why this is really good. I can really focus with you two, which is amazing. I love it that I can directly focus on the both of you, because obviously you're brother and sister. And, well, I would consider us a little bit of since I was Catherine, I was your nephew. We were my aunts in one of our past lives. And Sean, you were... we were together too. So, we are literally finding... well, with like a tracer. I hope not. So, we are literally finding our souls, our heart, we attract those people from the other lives. Very good. Very good. So, I just really, really like that I can focus on you two with, full-on help and full-on everything, and I love that about this. So, you guys know, this superstitions, and I love it, Catherine, I love it when you message me and you're saying, okay, am I doing what it said this, it did this, and then you wrote out what it said. You are getting true communications. Imagination is key. So, yeah, it doesn't matter what board you use. Angel boards, same. Witch boards? I think there's witch boards. I don't know. There could be. Same thing. It's a Ouija. Just different names. Just like medications, we have our generic and then we have our brand names. So that will help quite a bit. But yeah, it is really important that you guys are already spiritual. So you have your grounds that you're working with. Sean, Baphomet, me, Baphomet, well, Baphomet and Thoth, Isis and Thoth, Baphomet and Sophia, or, Baphomet and the goddess, and Santissima Muerte. We all have too much in common. It's awesome. It's amazing. So we know where we're all coming from. So literally, we can all just talk to each other. We could skip like 2 weeks, and then we can actually just pick up right where we left off. So that's the good thing. So yes, just kind of trying to get rid of the superstitions. Karen Dahlman, The Spirits of Ouija, 4 Decades of Communication, one of the best books. Literally the ultimate Ouija how-to, and better than mine. Yes, she is a lot better than my books. So, The Spirits of Ouija, 4 Decades of Communication, big help. Read that book, you are going to flip. You're going to change your life around. Everything's going to become different. It's all going to be for the good, too. The good. So, it's amazing. And also The Spirit of Alchemy, The Sacred Reunion, that gives you even more how to transform those fears inside. Just get those books, get all of them. So creativevisionspublications.com, or I think it's creativevisionspublications.com. So you can get her books through there. If you do get those books through her website, you can get them signed. If you get them on Amazon, you cannot get them signed unless you go through a lengthy process. I don't know. But yes, the Ouija Queen, literally. So, she has many helpful videos. Her and Marla Martinson are amazing. So you can look Marla Martinson up too. She is the Beverly Hills Matchmaker, which is amazing, and The Buddha Made Me Do It. One of the best books I've ever read in my life. So she uses the board by herself, and I love it, and it's great. It's very great. So you can. So, alright, just a little bit of information. So we've gone over talismans, protective amulets and stuff to protect us while we are using the board. So, which is very necessary. It's very necessary. So I found some stuff that I thought you guys would like. I found a lot of stuff actually that I really think you guys would like. If I can find it. It's very, very amazing. Okay, so yes, the how do you say that word? SEP, septenary. septenary of talismans. So, alright, so since the ceremonies, the garments, the perfumes, the characters, and the figures, as we have said, are necessary in order to employ the imagination for the education of the will. The success of magical works depends on the faithful observation of all rites. So, yes, materialism, it sucks, it's stupid, it's a waste, really it is. It's a waste of money to waste. I mean, if it's religious, I mean, I get it, I totally get it, obviously. We're human, that's one of our downfalls. So whatever is going to be your stimuli to anchor you into that spiritual state of mind, that state of being. So this is where the imagination comes in. You have to employ it. So you have to employ the imagination so you can actually get somewhere. It's key. It's total key. So there's just so much in here. It's amazing. So yes, we said the success of magical works depends on the faithful observation of all the rites. So, just to keep journals. That's your basis. And this is also explaining how we can actually employ and use our talismans. So you can make a talisman to help you Ouija better, or anything. So, alright. What did I want to tell you guys? Because there is a lot of stuff. There's a book. There's one book. A French. It's a magical. Okay, one of the most widely circulated magical handbooks in French. So, the Petit Albert, the Lesser Albert, appeared around the beginning of the 18th century. So, like most of early modern magical handbooks, it is a grab bag of magical practices, to which folk magic and ceremonial magic make roughly equal contributions. So that is a book that would it'd benefit quite a few. I don't know if you can get it in English, sadly. So I'm not 100% sure. So that's just one thing that we can do. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to tell you. So with regard to realization and ritual, Paracelsus, in magic, an imposing authority no one else has accomplished such great works as his, and for the same reason he hides the power of the ceremonies and only teaches of occult philosophy the existence of the magnetic agent of the omnipotence of the will. So, he also summarizes the entire science of characters with two signs, which are the macro and microcosmic star, the pentagram. So, or the six-pointed star of David, big time. So, that was saying enough for the adepts, and it was important not to initiate the vulgar. So Paracelsus did not teach ritual, but he did practice it, and his practice resulted in a series of miracles. So miracles are everyday things that happen that make us go, wow, that's a miracle, literally. So, alright, so now we have said how important the tyranny and the quaternary are in magic. A great number of religious and Kabbalistic signs which represent universal synthesis, and they constitute the sacred serpentry, or whatever, are composed from their union. So according to the beliefs of the ancients, the world is governed by 7 secondary causes, which Trismegistus calls, I can't say this word, secundae. Okay, and these are the universal forces designated by Moses under the plural name of Elohim, the gods. So, these forces, analogous, and contrary to one another, they produce equilibrium through their contrasts. So, and they regulate the movement of the spheres. I will blog this for you guys because this is very amazing information. This is like a plethora of just so much that is amazing. So yes, the contrary, the contrast. Look on my face right now. So, okay. Produces the equilibrium through their contrasts, and it regulates the movements of the spheres, planets. The Hebrews, so a Jewish faith, it plays a lot in ceremonial magic and high magic, and it's very powerful. It's very powerful. So the Hebrews call them the 7 archangels, and give the names Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Anael, and Samael, Zadkiel, and Oriel. So the Gnostic Christians called the last 4 Uriel, Barashiel, Sitiel, and Jehudiel. I butchered those names, sorry. So, other peoples attribute the government of the 7 principal planets to these spirits, and they gave them the names of their greatest divinities. So all believed in their relative influence, obviously. The stars, the planets, astrology, astronomy, the zodiac is universal to all of us. So, and astronomy. So, divided up by the ancient sky between them and successively attributed to them the government of the 7 days of the week. So, the planets. So, this is a little confusing, but listen. So, this is the reason. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, this is right. So, this is the reason for the diverse ceremonies of the magical week and for the serpentry cult of the planets. So, yes, astrology, astronomy, whatever. So, we have already observed that the planets here on Earth are signs and nothing else. They have the influence which faith attributes to them because they are even more truly celestial bodies of the human spirit than stars in the sky. So, archetypal energies, literally, that correspond to us, to parts of our body. The as above, so below, as within, so without. Makes perfect sense. It really does. So, alright, the sun, which ancient magic has always regarded as fixed. We all know what the sun and the moon means and represents their magical attributes and correspondences. So, the sun, which the ancient magic has always regarded as fixed, could only be a planet to the vulgar. It also represents in the week the day of rest, which we call, who knows why, Dimanche, which the ancients called and the English still call the day of the sun. Today. So, the word planet comes from the Greek word for, I don't even know how to say it, but it means wanderers. So they're wandering around up there. So, yeah, there we go. The sun. So, the 7 magical planets correspond to the 7 colors of the spectrum, and and the 7 notes of the musical octave. Do you guys know what the magical octave of the earth is? B minor. Isn't that cool? You can actually reproduce the earth, the way it vibrates so fast that we don't hear it. You can actually reproduce that on a piano. So, they also represent the 7 virtues and, by opposition, the 7 vices of Christian mortality. So, the 7 sacraments are also related to this grand universal symmetry. Baptism, which consecrates the element of water. Consecrates the element of water. So, water, it relates to the moon. Strict penitence is under this auspices of Samael, the angel of Mars. So, the big mixture. So, the angel of Mars, confirmation, which accords the spirit of intelligence and communicates the gift of tongues to the true believer. It is under the auspices, whatever, of Raphael, the angel of Mercury. Now that's my planet. So, the aristocrat substitutes the sacramental realization of God, become man, with the empire of Jupiter. So, marriage is consecrated by Anael. Is that how you say that? Anael, I think. The purifying genius of Venus. Extreme. Did they leave a letter out? Unction? Extreme function is the protection of those who are sick and about to fall under the false influence of Saturn. So, there we go. The sick. Those who are sick all the time. Those who are... Wow, what I just said earlier. So, alright. So, let's see, where'd I go? And order. And the order which consecrates the priesthood of light is most especially marked by the characters of the sun. So, almost all of these analogies were remarked upon by scholar Dupuis, who concluded that all religions were false, rather than realizing or recognizing the holiness and the perpetuity of all the unique doctrine. So yes, there's truth in all religions. So it's bits and pieces of truth. So always reproduced in the universal symbolism of successive religious forms. He did not understand the permanent revelation transmitted to the human genius by the harmonies of nature, and only saw a series of errors in the chain of indigenous cultures, images, and eternal truths. So, pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting. So, shall we continue? This gets very interesting, a lot more interesting. So, the magical works also numbers 7. So, 7 is a very magical number, which we all know. So, first, works of light and health under the auspices of the sun. Second, works of divination and the mysteries under the invocation of the moon. Third, works of skill, of science, and eloquence under the protection of Mercury. Fourth, works of anger and punishment consecrated to Mars. Fifth, works of love favored by Venus. So, 6, works of ambition and politics under the auspices of Jupiter. 7th, works of malediction and of death under the patronage of Saturn. In theological symbolism, the sun represents the verb of truth. So, literally, the verb of truth. So, the moon represents religion itself. So, we all knew that. Mercury, the interpretation and the science of the mysteries. Mercury, Hermes Trismegistus, or Thoth. Mars, justice. Venus, charity and love. Jupiter, what is that word? Jupiter, the resuscitated and glorious Savior. Saturn, God the Father or the Jehovah of Moses. So, in the human body, the sun is analogous. The sun is related to the heart. So, the sun to the heart. The sun to the heart, and the moon to the brain. Jupiter is to your right hand. So, Saturn is obviously the left hand. Mars is to the right foot, and Venus to the left foot. So this is make the man drawn inside the pentagram, with the human figure of the man in the pentagram. This is making sense? So, Mercury to the genitalia. The spirit of this last planet being sometimes represented by an androgynous figure. In the human face, the sun dominates the forehead, Jupiter the right eye, Saturn the left eye. The moon reigns between the two eyes, at the root of the nose. So, right here. Third eye, pineal gland. Amazing. Love this stuff. So, whose two wings are governed by Mars and Venus. Finally, Mercury exerts his influence on the mouth and the chin. So, Mercury. I think that's why a lot of Virgos have such a big mouth. It's true. Alright, so with these notions, the ancients formed the occult science of sigamony, imperfectly rediscovered by Lavater. The mage who wishes to proceed with the works of light must perform them on Sunday, from midnight to 8 in the morning, or from 3 in the afternoon until 10 at night. He will be dressed in a purple robe, with a tiara and bracelets of gold. So this all represents the energy, and it is acting on the imagination, thus striking the nervous system. And then you can actually produce real, tangible results. So, he will be dressed in a purple robe with a tiara and bracelets of gold. The altar of perfumes and the tripod of the sacred fire will be surrounded by garlands of bay leaves, heliotropes, and sunflowers. That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? The perfumes will be cinnamon, the male incense. Didn't know that. Well, masculine cinnamon. So, saffron and red sandalwood. The ring will be gold with a chrysolite or a ruby. The carpet will be made of skin of the lions. The fan will be made of the plumes of a sparrow hawk. This is really in-depth. This is very, very in-depth. But this is very amazing stuff. It's common sense, but it's profoundly amazing. Alright, so we have covered Sunday. Monday. On Monday you will wear a white robe, striped with silver, with a triple necklace of pearls, of crystals, and of selenite. This is how far back selenite goes. So, the tiara will be covered in a yellow silk with silver characters spelling the Hebrew monogram for Gabriel, as we find them in the occult philosophy of Agrippa. The perfumes will be white sandalwood, camphor, amber, aloe, and the pulverized seeds of the cucumber. The garlands will be of mugwort and of selenotropes. So, selenotropes are plants that actually face the moon. Their flowers turn. So, the moonflower. Literally, the moonflower. Alright. And, of yellow buttercups. Ooh, those are the prettiest flowers. So, you will avoid black colored wall coverings, clothes or objects, and you will wear no other metal except silver. What if you don't have white clothes? You only have black. Crap. So, okay. That was Monday. Very awesome. On Tuesday, a day for operations of anger. The robe will be the color of fire, or of rust, or of blood, with a belt and bracelets of steel. The tiara will be circled with fire. Oh, that's a little hazardous. And you will not use the wand, but only a magical stylet and the sword. The garlands will be of absinthe and of rue. So wormwood and rue. And you will wear a ring of steel with an amethyst, for it's a precious stone. Okay, so that's Tuesday. It gets even more interesting. This gets really interesting, guys. So we did Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Now on Wednesday, a favorable day for high science, which would be high magic. The robe will be green, or of a reflective cloth of different colors. The necklace will be of beads of hollow glass containing mercury. This is where it gets very difficult. Actually putting real mercury into beads, that's very dangerous. So I wouldn't suggest doing any of this. That is going to be a hazard. So the perfumes will be benzoin, mace, and storix. The flowers, narcissus, lily. Wow, I've never heard of some of these. Mercurialis, annua, fumitory, and marjoram. The precious stone will be agate. So, let's see, that was Wednesday. On Thursday, a great day for works of religion and politics. The robe will be scarlet, and you will wear on the forehead a strip of tin with the character and spirit of Jupiter, and these 3 words: Giar, Bithor, Samagibel, something like that. So Giarar, Giar, Bethor, Bethor, and Samgabeiel, Samgabeiel. The perfumes will be incense, ambergris, balm, grains of paradise, mace, and saffron. The ring will be decorated with an emerald or a sapphire. The garlands and crowns will be of oak, poplar, fig tree, and the pomegranate tree. Okay, so that's for Thursday. Now, on Friday, the day for Operations for Love, the robe will be of blue azure blue. The wall coverings will be green and pink. The ornaments of polished copper. The crowns will be of violets. The garlands of roses, of myrtle and olive tree. The ring will be decorated with a turquoise lapis lazuli, and beryl will serve for the tiara. So, interesting. So, And the clips, the fans, will be of swan feathers. Where can you possibly get a swan feather right now? Here. Okay, so the operator will have on the chest a talisman of copper with the character of Anael and these words, Aviva Vade Lilith. So, A-V-E-E V-A V-A-D V-A-D-E and Lilith. So, on Saturday, the day for funeral works. This is going back to the Egyptian Book of the Dead. And this is definitely going back into the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Actually, the funerary rites. Which book is that? It's one of them. So, where'd I go? So, the robe will be black or brown, with characters embroidered in silk of an orange color. You will wear around the neck a medal of lead. Ooh, that's poisonous. With the character of Saturn and the words Amalek, Afiel, Zarafiel. So, the perfumes will be of Darcetum, Scamani, Alum, Sulfur, and Asphodea. Okay. The ring will have a stone of onyx. The garlands will be of ash, cypress, and black hellebore. I would love black hellebore. I don't think that's even in season here at all. So, on the ring's onyx, you will engrave a double head of Janus during the hours of Saturn with a consecrated Al, A-L, or A-W-L. So, such is the ancient magnificence of the secret call of the mages. So, it's amazing, it really is. All of the days of the week, it tells you everything that you need to know. All the spirits, the archangels, everything. So, in dealing with high magic, you are working with archangels, universal archangels, not designated to one specific faith. So, lots of stuff in here. The ceremonial consecration of this sign attaches the operator's intentions and even more strongly to it and establishes between himself the sign of a true magical chain. The pentacles can be equally drawn on virgin paper, parchment, on paper or on metals. So, we call a talisman a piece of metal which has either pentacles or characters which was especially consecrated for a determined intention. Gaffer, in a scholarly work about ancient magics, had demonstrated through science the real power of these talismans. And it's cool. It's cool listening to this. So the power of these talismans and confidence in their virtue is also so natural that we willingly carry on our persons souvenirs of those we love, persuaded that the relics protect us from danger and can render us more happy. We make talismans with the 7 Kabbalistic metals, and we engrave them on the favorable days and times with the desired and determined signs, which would be the figures of the 7 planets with their magical squares. So, these magical squares, they're given in another chapter, so I will blog some of this tonight. I'll come up with kind of like a little book report for you guys with this. So the squares, the figures of the 7 planets with their magical squares, are found in the Petit Albert, as in Paracelsus, and are one of the rare, serious sections of this vulgar book on magic. It should be remarked that Paracelsus replaces the figure of Jupiter by that of a priest, a substitution that is not without mysterious and earnest intention. So, we can also use precious stones for amulets and talismans, as you guys know. but all objects of this type, either in metal or in gemstones, must be carefully enveloped in silk. In silk sachets of the color which is analogous to the spirit of the planet, and perfumed with the incense of the corresponding day, and protected from all impure glances and touch. Quite interesting. So, thus the pentacle and the talismans of the sun must not be seen or touched by deformed and distorted people, or by immoral women. Those of the moon are profaned by the gaze and the touch of a debauched man and menstruating women. Those of Mercury lose their virtue if they are seen or touched. If they are seen or touched by salaried priests. So those of Mars must be hidden from cowards. Those of Venus from the depraved men, and those who have taken a vow of celibacy. Those of Jupiter from the impious, and those of Saturn from virgins and children. So, not that the regards of the touch or the touch of these last two can even be impure, but because the talisman would bring them bad luck, thus it loses all its power. So, it's just crazy. It's very crazy. So, this is more, just a lot more on what you guys can do for your adding items to your sessions. So you can do all of this. Blessed and indulgenced objects, things touched by holy images or venerable persons, rosaries from Palestine, the Angus decomposed of wax from the Fassal candle, the annual remains of the holy chrism, scapulars, metals like the holy metals, are all veritable talismans. So one of these metals has become popular in our time. Even those who have no religion put it around the necks of their children. So, yes, the figures are so perfectly Kabbalistic that this metal is truly a double and marvelous pentacle. On one side we see the grand initiatrix, the celestial mother of the Zohar, the Isis of Egypt, the Venus Urania of the followers of Plato, the Mary of Christianity standing on the world and placing a foot on the magical serpent's head. She extends her two hands in a manner in which they form a triangle, where her head is the apex. Her hands open and radiate, which makes for a double pentagram, whose rays all head towards the earth. So, which obviously represents the liberation of intelligence through work. So, on the other side of the metal, we see the double Tau, the Hierophants. So, going back to tarot, the lingam, which is a natural object thought to be worshipped. It's a natural object worshipped as Shiva. Yes, Shiva. So, the lingam with the double ketis, or with a triple phallus supported by, with interlacing and a double insertion. Yeah. The Kabbalistic and Masonic M, representing the set square between the two columns of Jachin and Boaz. Below them are placed on the same level two loving and suffering hearts, and all around 12 pentagrams. So, now when you guys do your, when you guys are doing your pendants, any kind of pendant, if you guys are sigils, any kind of talisman, I've already done the talismanic magic from modern magic. Yeah, modern magic. So, these books, they are kind of the same and not, completely not. So, this is in the consecration must be performed on the special days which we have noted. So, this is how we consecrate these from this tradition. So, okay, we consecrate with the 4 exorcised elements after having conjured the spirits of darkness through the conjuration of the 4. The gnomes, the sliffs, the elementals. So, then we take the pentacle in our hand and we tell it while sprinkling it with a few drops of magical water, holy water. So, in the name of Elohim, by the spirit of the living waters, be thou unto me as a sign of light and a sacrament of will. So, you're going to present it to the smoke from the perfumes, and then we say, by the brazen serpent before which fell the fiery serpents, be thou unto me, etc. I could give this to you guys in all Latin if I wanted to. I wouldn't. So while blowing 7 times on the pentacle or on the talisman, we say, per fermentium et spiritum vocis sis mihi, etc. By the firmament of the spirit of the voice, be thou unto me. So, now finally, while placing a few grains of purified earth or salt in the form of a triangle on the pentacle or the talisman, one must say, Insel tere et per vitium viat etrain sis mihi, etc. I'm not going to tell you guys what that one means. Actually, no, I will. And the salt of the earth, and by the power of eternal life, be thou unto me. So then we perfume the conjuration of the 7 in the following manner. By turns, we throw into the sacred fire a pastil made of the 7 perfumes, and we say, in the name of Michael, may Jehovah command you and drive you away from here. Shavajoth. In the name of Gabriel, may Adonai command you and drive you away from here. Belial. In the name of Raphael, disappear before Elohim. Sakbiel. And by Samael, Zeboth. And in the name of Elohim Gibor, leave this place. Adramlesh. So, by Zachariel and Sashiel Melesh, obey Elva Sam Gabriel. So it's very, very different. So in the divine and human name of Shaddai, and by the sign of the pentagrams, which I hold in my right hand, and in the name of the angel, in the name of the angel, Anael, by the power of Adam and Heva, who are Yad Shavah, leave this place. Lilith, leave us in peace. Mia. So, by the holy Elohim, and in the names of the spirits, Cassiel. Yeah, these are very difficult names. Shitiel, Zaphiel, and Zarahiel, by the command of Oriaphel, turn away from us, Malach. We shall not give you our children to devour. So, that is how you would consecrate a talisman. So, I don't think I take this too I don't think I take myself seriously enough. So yeah, that was pretty different. So I will blog this for you guys. So just throwing everything that I think that is important out there for you guys. So you guys know you have so many different options. So many different options to choose from. So many different, just everything. So now, this is really cool. This is about the lamp, though. So, an early form of a magical lantern or slide projector, like the lamp seen in the description of the lamp at the end of this chapter. So, this is my, I tried to recreate that, but I didn't do too well. It's going to take some serious work, though. So, concerning the magical instruments, the principal ones are the wand, the sword, the lamp, the cup, the altar, and the tripod. In high and divine operations of magic, we use the lamp, the wand, and the cup. In works of black magic, we replace the wand with the sword and the lamp with Cardano's candle. And then it says we will explain the difference in this article, particularly to black magic later. So, and then it goes on to the consecration and all of the different tools that we use. So the sword, the pentacle, which we already went over, the cup, the chalice, the wand, all of it. So, and that, my friends, is where I'm going to leave off with that for you guys. So, I will blog a lot of that for you guys, so you guys can totally get a very good understanding of that type. So you all know, if you guys have my books, which I think you do, there are too many, there's so many different ones. Hold on, guys. Hold on, real quick. Okay, guys. Had to pee really bad. Anyways, so I will blog all of this for you guys. The $40 Ouija session is still going on. So I do have a spot for one more in Ouija Boot Camp. Ouija/Magical Boot Camp. So when it gets to the point where we have like 5 to 10 people in our group, then we will do the private videos, the private sessions and all that stuff. Now, just because I said that it is unlimited doesn't mean that you can do, we're not splitting it up. It's not going to be split up. It is going to be one session. Be reasonable with your questions. Don't yeah, just be reasonable. Most people are very reasonable with what they want to get from the board. So, and then through PayPal, that 2% goes, which is roughly $1. So, to Autism Speaks Indiana. So, but don't send me an email with like 4 different categories with like 20 questions in each. That's totally different sessions. So you have to pay for the first session, you'll have to pay for another session, you'll have to pay for the third session. I'm not going to overcomplicate it, or let anybody overcomplicate what I have put out, what I have offered. So, not gonna happen. Feeling a lot better. My energy is back. So, yeah, never mind. So, alright guys, just keep up with all the lessons, just keep reading, keep researching, and I know you guys are going to do it. So, and I know, Sean, that you're very busy, so just take your time. Temperance. Make sure you temper it. You have to have your life and your magical life, and you have to make them coexist together. You can't just ignore your regular life. So, but yeah. So that's it for today, guys. That's completely it for today. Went over a lot, quite a bit. So I do hope you all enjoy this. So yes, just make sure that you don't send me an email with 4 to 5 different categories of questions. And yeah, no, those are 4 different sessions. 1 session. So, but you guys, my norm, you guys all completely understand and know exactly how I work. So, alright guys. I will see you all tomorrow. So, I hope you guys have a great day. And I love you all. So, still on a mission to find out about prenatal stuff that contributes to the formation of a baby. So I am still on that mission. So, alright guys. But yeah, I've got to do some stuff. So I love you all very much. From my heart. All the way from Venus. All the way back down. So, I love you all. And thank you guys for listening to me ramble. So, hopefully we learned something today. And I love you all.